They thought my silence meant surrender, but silence sometimes hides a storm. For generations, this land belonged to my family, a piece of earth carved by our sweat and guarded by our pride. When the HOA arrived, they called it development. I called it theft. As I watched them build 35 homes across my fields, I remembered the words of Abraham Lincoln. Nearly all men can stand adversity, but if you want to test a man's character, give him power. And power, they took it all. I didn't fight back at first. I waited, because patience, when mixed with pain, becomes strategy. They laughed, built their driveways, raised their flags, all on my stolen soil. What they didn't know was that beneath those houses, the old dam still stood. A dam my father built, strong enough to hold back not just water, but anger. And as the nights grew quieter, my resolve grew louder. Never interrupt your enemy when he is making a mistake, Napoleon once said. So I didn't. That night, the sky was darker than usual, or maybe it was just my heart. I walked to the old lever, the one rusted by time but alive with memory. When I pulled it, the sound wasn't just of rushing water. It was of justice finally breathing again. The flood rolled down like Judgment Day, swallowing everything they built without permission, without respect. Some called it revenge. I called it balance, because as the poet once said, the mills of God grind slowly, but they grind exceedingly fine. By morning, the houses were gone, washed away like dust before dawn. People asked me if I felt regret, but how can you regret defending your roots? My father's land breathed again, free of arrogance and concrete. I walked through the soaked soil, feeling it pulse beneath my boots, whispering, "You did what had to be done." And as the sun rose over the valley, I smiled, because sometimes the river doesn't destroy. It simply reclaims what was always its own. Justice is like water. It finds its level, no matter how long it takes. Weeks passed, and the land slowly healed. The water receded, leaving behind not destruction, but renewal. Green sprouts began to rise where concrete once stood, as if the earth itself forgave me. I built no walls this time, only fences of memory, because I finally understood what my father meant when he said, "The land doesn't belong to us, we belong to it." And as I stood there, watching the new life bloom, I realized revenge had never been my goal. It was restoration, the river's way of setting things right. So I turned away, whispered one last time to the wind, "Let the water remember, and let the world forget."